It's fair to say there's been a dearth of decent new Lord of the Rings Middle-earth games in recent years. Apart from Gollum, of course, which was a masterpiece.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Jokes, of course. But there was a video game that was due to be released in the mid-2000s that could have been a thing of beauty for us Lord of the Rings fans. So, The White Council was a game that was announced as being in development in 2006, but by 2007 it was canned by EA due to management issues and to focus on the Lord of the Rings Conquest, which, yeah, is a game I enjoyed, but compared to what could have been with this, it's disappointing. This game had the potential to be the greatest Lord of the Rings game, probably of all time, ever created, okay? And all we ever got was a few stills, a little bit of a website and some information. So Steve Gray, producer of the game, the executive producer, said that when the game was announced, players will have the freedom to explore the open world of Middle-earth by Tolkien in The Lord of the Rings: The White Council. They can choose their role as a man, elf, dwarf or hobbit. The destiny of each will become a hero allied with the White Council, whose members include the famous characters Gandalf, Saruman, Galadriel and Elrond. But, sadly, it was never meant to be, and the game fell into obscurity. And other than a bit of concept art, a brief website, a few other little bits and bobs we got when the game was announced, that was all we ever got. It was literally all the details we ever got about the game, to be fair. It was shrouded in mystery. Until 2020, when Steve Gray and some of the other team that were making the White Council spoke again. They said they'd used the sim sprites for NPCs and created a whole lot of content for the game. The game had been in development for roughly 2 years, Tremel, one of the people who worked on the game, said. The game included basic combat, the area of Framsburg, horseback, Uruk-hai, a cave troll and an entire ecosystem of animals. I will be intrigued, probably till my dying day, what this game could have been. It was going to be on the 360, it was going to be on the PlayStation 3 and on PC. And I think it could have still have had a big player base all these years later. But EA being EA, and it's not just EA, it's other companies as well, but they tend to follow the bottom line. And a game like this would have been expensive to make. You know, there's no question about it that this game would have cost a fortune. Just looking at some of the concept art and the ambitions they had, this would have been big. And they probably realised that it was a few years after the Lord of the Rings hype was over, and they went for something a little bit safer with Conquest, which is basically the Lord of the Rings equivalent of Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. So yeah, I think it would have been great, but you know, it was never meant to be, and we'll always be left wondering what this game would have looked like, how it would have played, and could it have been one of the best Lord of the Rings games of all time. At least we've still got Lord of the Rings Online, which to me is a fantastic, fantastic game, but I would have loved to have seen the White Council action. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please hit like and subscribe to support my channel for more Lord of the Rings content, for more geeky content, for all sorts of different bits and bobs. Please follow Britism. Over and out. And love you all long time.